I've quickly learned like what people think Minnesota sounds like and what Minnesota actually sounds like is not even remotely the same thing.
No, it's not at all. And I'm glad that we're figuring that out.
Yeah,
Because it took us a while. Because for
definitely.
a very long time, like that's the fight that I've been fighting for a long time is like, that doesn't represent us. That's not what I'm listening to.
You see, I'm Southside reppin', Bigfoot steppin', Zone 3 section is God flow perfection. Hating on the church like I ain't blessed they section. If we ain't talking money, I got a weak connection. That's on the hood. She said get a bag, so I get it, got it good. Don't complain about my problems, I just put it in a wood. Seen a genie the other day, she said make it good. So I wish for good health, then I wish to look. It's chief, not lieutenant. Yeah.
Okay, another episode of Live on Lake Street. We have JuneThaKid in the building with us today.
Yo.
So let's start from the beginning. I know you're very new to being an artist.
Fresh out.
First, let me say that's shocking because based on the music of yours that I've heard, which I think is all of it,
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
you don't sound like a new artist.
Nah, I appreciate that, man.
So I
Means
don't
a
know.
lot.
I don't know how that happened, or maybe that's exactly how it's supposed to be.
Honestly, man, the thing is, like, before I actually started making my own music and rapping, like, I've been a student of the game since I was like a kid. Like, even when I was little, like, I used to just chill with my brother, and he had like stacks and stacks of CDs, and he would put me on with like Tupac, Big, 50. There was a lot of 50 growing up, Dipset, and just like all that. So really, like, I had a lot of time to study the people before me, before I jumped off the porch and started rapping myself.
Yeah.
So I feel like that kind of helped me shape and like think about how I wanted to go about putting my music out before I did it.
Yeah,
So that probably goes into it a lot.
for sure. So you're Southside, right?
Yeah.
Southside Minneapolis.
Born and raised.
So how does it feel this being your first interview on the South Side of
It
Minneapolis?
feels good, man. Like, it's cool. In a way, though, it feels right, though. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like it was meant to happen eventually. It's cool to have a resource and an outlet like this so close to home, though.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm most proud of is the fact that we're right here.
Nah, for sure. You're definitely going to do a lot for helping out a lot of art. Not even just myself, but like people who have been doing it longer than me, getting out there and being able to get more visibility on the internet just in general.
Yeah.
It's going to do a lot for the local scene here.
Yeah. So obviously, you mentioned a whole bunch of artists, mainstream artists that you're influenced by. I know you have heavily influenced by, like Kendrick and like Kanye, Freddie Gibbs, I believe.
Yeah.
Who has influenced you here in Minnesota to do music?
So it's tough. It's really hard for me to say. I can't say I got too many in Minnesota because for me it's different.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't start listening to a ton of Minnesota artists until I became one. So for the longest for me, like whenever I thought of Minnesota artists, I thought Minnesota was as far as like Brother Ali and Atmospheres and all the Rhymesayers dudes. And obviously, like now that I'm an artist and I'm starting to learn about how much culture and how much music there is here, there's way more to it than that.
Yeah.
And so I can't really say people like who I was influenced by, but in terms of people like I just fuck with heavy, I mean, you got like the Nuckies, you got the Righteous MCs, you got the Juice Lord, you got Minnesota I just got put on to recently. He's dope as fuck.
He's definitely one of our finest.
Yeah, Reefa Ray, even though I don't know if Reefa Ray is from here, but his music is dope as fuck.
Reefa, you mentioned Nucky too. Both Reefa and Nucky
It's Chicago,
are
right?
from Chicago, but both definitely represent Minnesota.
Right, yeah. Like y'all
Yes.
been here long enough, man.
Yeah, no, they definitely are Minnesota. I mean, I call them Minnesota based.
Right,
artists.
yeah.
Like they're not born and raised here,
But they
like,
rep it.
They rep it.
That's good enough
They're
for me.
representing Minnesota. So yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
I agree. And those are some hitters that you just mentioned. as well.
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
I like Taylor J a lot too. I just got put on to him recently. He's dope.
Another one of our
Taylor
finest.
J's dope. White Khalik is dope too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton of them, man.
Well, Bands Up Dip.
Bands Up Dip. Bands Up Dip. Man, it's funny.
I know you got a story about Dip.
Man. Funny story about that, bro. Like, this was years ago, but way before I even thought about trying to be a rapper. But like, I used to work at Target, in the electronics section, and one day, I'm in the Target section, the CD section, back before they got rid of all that, cleaning it up because customers come in and throw everything around. So I'm going through the CDs and just putting stuff back in the right spot where it's supposed to go in the aisle, and I find this one CD that's like. It's like a paperback, but it's more than that. Like, I don't know, cardstock or something where they got like the high quality ones you slide the disc in.
Yep.
And it's film wrapped like it's one of the discs that we sell. And I'm looking at it and like the barcode on it looks way different than the rest of them. So I take it up to the register and I'm like, what is this? I go scan it and nothing comes up. Like, so at this point, I'm like, all right. I start looking over it more, and I'm like, whoever put this here, like, we don't sell this. So I look at the name on it, and the name on it is Bands Up Dip.
Do you remember which album it was?
Nah, it was. I remember vividly that one of the only features on it was Reeves. Is it Junior or Junia?
Mm-hmm. Reeves Jr.
Reeves Jr. was one of the only features on it. So I don't know if all the Bands Up Dip fans out there probably know what I'm talking about.
I know what album it is. It's something. It's an address. Something,
yeah, yep.
something in Morgan, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, yep.
I remember taking it home and listening to it. Like, man, this is dope. And then I had the CD like just chilling in my room for a while, but I kind of put it out of my mind. And then like fast forward like years later, now that I'm actually rapping, I'm in the studio one day with Juice Lord, and we were working on some stuff. And he keeps talking about like, yeah, man, I got this track for Dip I got to finish, and like I got to do this with Dip. And he keeps saying it, and I'm like, man, who is Dip? Like he talking, I'm like, who's Dip? And he's like, Bands Up Dip. And as soon as he said it, I had the flashback, and then I'm like, man. I didn't realize like that you're one of like the mainstays in the city, and so for it all to come full circle like that is just funny.
No, that is funny, and Dip is definitely another one of our finest.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So have you gotten a chance to meet Dip?
Nah, I've never met him.
So you never got to tell him the story.
You gonna hear it now, but I've never met him face to face.
Oh, that's great. We just had him on I think last week.
Yeah,
2 weeks ago.
I saw that. That was a good episode.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. So I know another one of the things that has influenced you musically is Urban Lights, which has been a very consistently brought up thing on this show.
Yeah,
is Tim and Urban Lights and the influence that Tim and Urban Lights has had in our music scene here.
Definitely.
So talk to me about that.
Yeah, so not the first time I went there, but how I really got into the music is my homie Vlad. He's an artist too, but he promotes as well, so he throws a lot of shows, open mics, stuff like that. And he had an open mic that he was hosting at Urban Lights he did it all last year, so every month. It was the first Tuesday of the month. And he had been doing it for like 4 or 5 months, I want to say, up until every time he was always bugging us to be in the homie say cool about it. Like, yo, I know y'all rap. I know you're not taking it serious, man, but like I really think you should just come do some of your music here. Like, even if you don't want to take it serious, like just to do it that one time, just to see like if you really got something. And 1 month he just was on our ass about it, and I was like, you know what, man, I'm gonna take him up on it and go do it. So we go there, and I ain't gonna lie, it's intimidating because like just to be around that many artists and that many people who really do this shit is from the perspective of somebody who doesn't.
I'm sorry, you said this was an open mic?
This is open mic.
Open mic,
yeah. So like at Urban Lights, I went there and we performed, and like when I started rapping, like I remember there was a lot of people who were chilling outside, and it's kind of dispersed because it was close to the end of it. And as soon as like I started rapping, people who were chilling outside just started pouring in, and like everybody it was almost just like laser focused. And that was the moment that made me really realize, like, damn, I might have something with this. Because it's different. I tell people all the time, like, when you got your homies telling you, like, yo, your music's dope, it's like, yeah, it's cool, but, like, y'all are my friends. So, like, I'm going to feel like, even if you're not doing it, I'm going to feel like you just doing it because we homies.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I can really trust that opinion. But then when there's people who didn't know me, then that's when I was like, all right, I might have something here.
Yeah. Is that how you connected with Juice Lord, too?
Yeah, he was there. That was actually how I met him. He performed a few people before me. And he was leaving, but when he heard the music, he came back in, and then we connected after I finished performing.
Yeah, and he's one of the few features on Ronda Son, right?
Yeah, it's just him and the homie Sekou.
Okay, so was that culminated that day?
Yeah, no, like we exchanged socials and stuff, and then the next day I posted. As soon as that happened, I'm talking to all the people there who were asking me for like my info, and like I didn't even have like a rapper Instagram at the time. I just had like my personal page.
Yeah.
So like I had people, and I'm like, oh, it's on private. I gotta accept you. Hold on to the shit.
Oh.
So I went home that same day and made a whole new page, and then the next day I rushed to the studio just to kind of have like some type of content out there.
Yeah.
And I had a song. It was Crickets from Ronda Son that I had like a rough draft that I made, and I posted it. And he inboxed me immediately like, yo, like I fuck with it. And then we talked a little bit about the project, and then from there he was just like, yo, let me hop on it. And I'm like, for me, I was just like, damn, like that's a hell of a cosign for somebody who like obviously I did my research on him when I added him and went home, and I'm like, for somebody who's been rapping for so long, was established in the city, got a big following, like that's a big alley-oop to throw somebody.
That's the young OG.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Young old man.
So if I feel like the Rushmore conversation has sort of worn out worn out its welcome at this point until we start to create some more. But and I know that you're fairly new to this, but if you were to put together your own, let's just say Minnesota Rushmore, could you do it? If you want to stick to Southside, you can.
Now Rushmore is just 4 people, right?
Yep. It's tough.
See, here's my thing. Like, I don't know if I could. I don't know. I could put together a Rushmore of people who I think are genuinely just really dope.
Mm-hmm.
But since I haven't been tapped into the Minnesota music scene for that long, I don't know if it would be accurate in terms of like.
Well, let's hear what you got.
Yeah.
Let's
all
see.
right.
And remember, everybody, this is coming from kind of a newbie standpoint.
Yeah. So Minnesota Rushmore. Who's just a no-brainer? Just because that's the homie I respect, I'm going to throw Juice on there. But once you get past him, shit.
I don't think a lot of people will fight you on that, by the way.
Oh, no? Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Bear in mind, everybody listening, it's just people I fuck with. I'm going to have to do it that way, but I'm going to say Juice. His projects, his content is crazy. Who else makes great music? Right. Now that you just told me that he's from Chicago, I feel like I should probably only put people who are from here on there. But Juice, for sure.
You know Juice is from Louisiana, right?
What?
I'm just playing.
I was going to say, he's from St. Paul. Juice, I'm going to throw.
He's really from New York.
For real?
Really.
Like that ass?
His soul is from New York.
Nah, definitely.
He was born in the wrong state.
Let me throw Juice on there. Let me throw somebody a lot of people probably don't know, Bushido Chop. Not a lot of people know him, heard him. His music is dope as fuck. Like, production-wise, he produces, raps, all that. He dropped like 3 projects this year.
You might have to put me on.
Yeah, Bushido Chop. Shit, who I'm going to put? Fuck it, if we just talking about I fuck with Reefa, I'm going to put Reefa on there. I fuck with him heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And then for a 4th one to round it out, let me say, I'm going to throw Nucky on there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just because lyrically, like, Nucky is like a fucking alien, bro.
I don't know if you know, but I have gone out on a limb many times. I don't think anybody touches Nucky.
Nah, like, in terms of just
I think Nucky raps with literally the best of them in the world.
Anybody. I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody go. I
think he raps with Cole. He raps with Kendrick. He raps with
you can put Nucky on track with anybody, even regardless of how good you think they are.
Yep.
You can say they might have a better verse, but ain't nobody watching Nucky. So I'm gonna throw Nucky on there.
Yep. No, I'm with that. I'm not gonna argue with it. And like we said earlier, yes, they may have been born in Chicago and lived half their lives in Chicago or whatever, but they clearly represent Minnesota.
No, 100% through and through.
And that's enough for me, for sure. However, that does, to me, for me personally, that does remove them from Rushmore.
No, yeah.
For me.
And like I said,
because otherwise, Reef to me is definitely on the Southside Rushmore.
Yeah, like in terms of how good his music is, 100%.
Yeah.
But now that you just told me, and again, like I said, like if I really feel like for Rushmore, I would have to sit down, do more research, and really take into account bodies of work, accomplishments, the impact you've had over time.
Sure, yeah, all that matters.
But yeah, if I was doing that, I definitely would have to probably put people who are born here just to make it fair.
Well, next time you come back.
Oh, I had a real one for you.
You're gonna be way more ingratiated in this music here, and you're gonna have a perfect one. Maybe you'll be on it.
Shit, hopefully.
Who knows? So talk to me about this Minnesota playlist that you
yeah, perfect lead into that. So I actually made, and one of the reasons why I wanted to make this was for people like me, because like I've met so many people, man, who are like, when you tell them you're from Minnesota and you talk about music, they're just like, I didn't even know y'all had rappers there.
Yeah.
And like I wanted to put something together just to showcase how much dope talent we have here, because I've just from the few months I've been doing this, like I've ran into and either met personally or just discovered so many dope artists. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to put something together so where if somebody's never heard of no Minnesota music, I could put you onto this playlist. You can just hit shuffle and you can just get talent after talent after talent back to back.
It's a great idea.
And so I got it's big as hell, right? I think it's almost 5 hours. It's probably like 50 plus artists in there. I got all types of stuff from street rappers to the backpack, the lyricist, the alternative, R&B, all type artists in there.
Is this something that you're regularly adding to?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep updating it throughout.
It's a
the year.
public playlist.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called The Real. I think it's JuneThaKid presents The Real Minnesota.
Okay. So
It's
if
on
anybody
Spotify.
wanted to find it,
Yep.
cool. You might have to send that to me.
Oh, I got you.
I want to see
Sure.
where you're at, and I can maybe give you some suggestions too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. No, I like that. I think that's dope. I think that's a great idea because it is one of those things where people think that we're just like flyover country,
Yeah.
and they don't really know.
I think it's just like Brother Ali, basically.
Right.
That's
Right.
it. Yeah.
Right. Brother Ali, Rhyme Sayers. In my opinion, like no disrespect to Brother Ali,
Right.
all disrespect to Atmosphere. Like that is not. That's embarrassing to me.
No, that definitely does not represent.
No.
And it's somebody who's only been doing this for a short amount of time. I've quickly learned like what people think Minnesota sounds like and what Minnesota actually sounds like is not even remotely the same thing.
No, it's not at all, and I'm glad that we're figuring that out
Yeah.
because it took us a while. Because for
Definitely.
a very long time, like that's the fight that I've been fighting for a long time. Is like that doesn't represent us. That's not what I'm listening to.
No, not at all.
At
No
all.
disrespect
At
to
all.
Rhyme Sayers and Brother Ali. Y'all did your thing, but it's not. Yeah.
No,
We'll
not
just
at
leave it
all.
at that.
Talk to me about Basement Gang.
Yeah, so Basement Gang is a group that I'm a part of. Me, the homie Sekou, who he also raps, and then Quasi Uno, who he is the producer, engineer, all that behind pretty much both of our musics. So we got a Basement Gang mixtape coming, and it's gonna be just the three of us on Quasi production,
Okay.
which will be dope. Then you got the homie Krayshawn, who I guess I'll call him a Basement Gang affiliate because he's not really like a rapper. He does R&B, dope music, but he raps it just the same. So
Okay.
him too.
So that's a little conglomerate, little group.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. A full project? Or are you talking EP or what are we doing?
It's definitely not gonna be like an album or nothing. I'm gonna call it a mixtape for now.
Okay.
But I'm thinking we're kind of getting set on the amount of songs, leaning anywhere from like 7 to 12
Okay.
in that range.
That's an album.
Probably.
I mean, that's an album at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know the difference between an album and a mixtape anymore.
Right. Like back in the day, I used to know, but the lines blurred now.
Well, it used to be jacking for beats. So you
Right.
knew it was a mixtape because they were rapping over other industry beats.
Right.
And then that changed. And it was like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Nowadays,
This
it
is
seems
album.
like an album is just, or a mixtape is just what you call your album when it flops.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure
Like,
out
when it does well.
when or how that changed. I want to blame Chance the Rapper. Because remember, Coloring Book came out.
Yeah.
And he called it a mixtape, but it was like, this is actually just a good album. And that's when it seemed like everything changed. Maybe that was.
Probably in the because I kind of used to think of it as like albums were for sale
True.
and mixtapes were more like Dat Piff.
Well, and you remember he called it a mixtape, but it was released on Apple Music.
Right, and that's kind of where the line got blurred on it.
Yeah. So, and Drake, I guess, did the same thing. He released
Yeah, what was that?
Released a playlist.
More Life.
Yeah, which I actually like More Life.
I love More Life. A lot of people don't fuck with More Life.
I don't
like
understand.
More Life a lot.
I don't understand why at all.
Yeah.
I like that album quite a bit. It's better than CLB. I don't hate CLB for the record.
I don't hate it either, but I'm not gonna lie, man. CLB had like the whole little war they had going on kind of took away from the music for me. And then when I finally listened to both projects, I felt like the hype and like the feud around it was bigger than the actual music.
I would agree with you for Drake.
Yeah.
I think Donda was a masterpiece.
Where you rank it on Kanye albums?
Ooh, damn! You really flipped the table on me there, didn't you? Where do I rank it?
I remember this Kanye we talk about.
I'm gonna put it. So I mean, I think so. College Dropout is always gonna be my favorite because it's the first, and it was so transcendent. Like it was like we had never heard anything like that before, ever. So say what you want about like how good it is in the terms of like how great Kanye's albums are. Like, no, it's not the best put together album,
Right, yeah.
but for me, that's always going to be number one. And then you got My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is probably it's probably number two for me.
Yeah.
And then I probably go 808s. Again, 808s. You could maybe even flip 808s to number two. And the only reason I say that is because, again, how transcendent it was.
Right.
808s, you could argue, impacted music more than any single album ever in the history of music. Kanye changed not just hip hop music.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
He changed music with that. Like you listen to music now, hip hop, the state it's in now.
Yeah.
It all came from that. All came from 808. So I mean, those three. Then I probably go. Man, Donda is a phenomenal album. It's probably somewhere in the 5-6 range, which sounds like it's not very high, but that's a lot. That's in the terms of Kanye albums. That's great.
Right.
That's still great. It's up there. I don't know. It's somewhere in the 4, 5, 6 range.
I want to ask, where you rank Yeezus? Because
I mean,
Yeezus is one of those albums, like when it first came out, I feel like it was real controversial and people were very divided on it, whether or not they liked it.
It was the same thing. I'll put it in almost in the exact same category as College Dropout and 808s, where he was trying to transcend music again,
right?
But it just didn't. It was either. I think it was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
I think it was ahead of its time. But
if you go back now and listen to it, it's crazy.
Fucking good.
But
it's pretty great.
In that time, I don't think people received it as well as they could have.
Yeah. So it's in that same realm where he was clearly. I got what he was doing.
Right.
It's just people weren't ready for it. That's really where it was. And then Life of Pablo, and it was like, Life of Pablo was a weird one.
Life of Pablo is dope though.
It's a phenomenal album.
Yeah,
but
it is weird though. It doesn't.
He again tried to transcend music.
Yeah.
And like half of us were ready for it.
Yeah.
That's where it was. Like half of us were like, yes. The other half was like, what the fuck?
It also felt kind of like haphazard.
A little bit.
Like it, a little bit, like, I don't know, scatterbrained in a way is the best way I could describe it.
See, I would say Ye to me was scatterbrained. I think Ye. I think Ye is a great album too. What I think Ye was his musical depiction of bipolar.
100%.
If you listen to the album, it sounds like the mind of somebody that is dealing with bipolar disorder.
Definitely.
And I like that.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. That's the one thing we can always say about Kanye. He's always given us himself.
100%.
Through everything he's ever been through, he's always given us him. Unapologetically him.
And that's why you got to appreciate it, man.
And that's why he's the greatest artist of all time.
Yeah.
Greatest artist of all time. So, okay. So, final thoughts here. You got an album out. It's called Rhonda's Son.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about Rhonda's Son.
So, Rhonda's Son, EP out, debut.
Really good, by the way. Really good.
Appreciate it. 6 songs.
Mm-hmm.
The whole project was probably made in I can't say it was made. There's a few verses on there that are they're a few years old just because they're from certain times in my life, but the whole project was kind of put together in like a 3-month span. And yeah, it was kind of just my introduction to trying to paint a picture of just me as an artist and the different sounds that I kind of can go for.
Mm-hmm.
First song I ever put out was
You do a lot of different things really well.
Yeah, thank you.
Throughout the project.
I kind of wanted to try to make it feel like it's only a 6-song EP, so it's not long by any means at all, but I kind of wanted to make it, as much as I could, feel kind of cohesive and almost like an album in a way. Just is a body of work more than just a playlist of random songs.
Yeah, you succeeded. I mean, you succeeded in that. It definitely is a little, it's multifaceted.
Yeah.
So if you're not paying attention, it might just sound like here are all of the things that I can do.
Right.
But there's cohesion to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the only thing that I'm curious about is why, as a new artist, jump right in with a project and not just single. That's what most people would do.
And just because, just for hip hop music in general, for me, man, I like that. I'm much more of a project person than a single person. I like concept albums, and that's just kind of my thing. That's kind of one of the reasons why Kendrick is my favorite artist, because he's really good at with every project. It feels like more than just songs. It's almost like an experience. It's the best way I can put it.
Like a film.
A film that you just listen to. Yep. And so that, even jumping out the door, fresh on the scene, that was just, I wanted to kind of check that off of my list of things. I wanted to get that out the way.
Yeah.
Just to put that out and then feel like, I got a body of work that I can show to people.
Yeah.
And that kind of gave me more confidence too. Because when you're a brand new artist, especially like I said with the Juice WRLD thing, when you're beating these artists and they're like, yeah, show me your stuff. And you pull it up and you have a song out, it just feels kind of like, are you really serious with this? But then be putting that project out, I feel like went a long way into making more people take me serious.
Yeah.
Because I was so early into it versus if I would have just put out a bunch of random songs, people would have looked at it like, I mean, like, it's cool and all, but like, you got 2 songs that exist on the internet.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand that. I definitely get that. And as somebody that also, I'm with you, I appreciate projects. I still appreciate full-length projects.
Right.
I still appreciate concepts. I mean, a concept album, to me, if you can create a concept for an album.
Yeah, to me, that's just like the peak of music.
And it can be actually grasped onto.
Yeah.
There's nothing better.
Right, yeah.
Nothing better. Yeah, I agree. And I think you did. I think you conceptualized this project pretty well. So I look forward to seeing what you got.
Thank you, man.
What you got coming in the future, man. I'm a fan. You definitely have gained me as a fan. So I'm going to be watching.
Watch the love, man.
So is there anything else? Last final thoughts? Looking at that camera and telling me.
That one right there?
Yep, that one
All
right
right.
there.
Yeah, once again, I go by JuneThaKid. I'm sure it's going to be up on the screen, but I always do this anyway. JuneTha. It's not TheThakid. You can find me on all the music platforms. It's just that, JuneThaKid. Instagram, JuneThaKid612. And then, yeah, I got a bunch of singles that are dropping right now just to tide people over until the Basement Game tape comes out. So I got Running with King Swank and Barry that's coming this Saturday. I got 5 Mics with Nucky that's coming very soon.
What's the date this Saturday? Just so.
Right, yeah. Saturday, January 8th.
January 8th.
5 Mics with Nucky that's coming soon.
Okay.
What else I got? Know the Deal with Maydol and K-Tones that's coming soon. And then a bunch of other stuff. So, yeah. Keep posted. You'll see it. Just follow me on Instagram, man. I'll keep you up to date.
Beautiful, man. Well, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, you too, man.
And I'll be watching. I'll be paying attention.
Yes, sir.
That's it. Follow me everywhere at Jake Faircloth1. It's been another episode of Live on Lake Street. We out.
Yep.
Damn, Woody. In high school, I let it blam, Woody. I wasn't playing, Woody. I'm coming straight out the south. Hey, genius, best watch your mouth. When I put up on PNB, right, that ain't he come out. You moving ounces, I just moved 100 things in a drought. You want the south side, outside the fence of your house. You talking all that, then wanna come talk it out.